Hi guys, this is Vol, and today we're going to take a look at a game from the ESL. That's the Electronic Sports League for Dawn of War, particularly Dawn of War Soulstorm. And it's basically the clan league going on between USSR, the Russian Dawn of War team, up against UNIR, the UNIR Spanish team, I believe it is, the point of view team. And we've got a game happening on Blood River, and the game is between Striker from the Russian team and Lunatico from the Spanish team. So Lunatico, the Spanish orc player here, and we've got Striker as Space Marines. Map, as I said, is the Blood River, and of course the Space Marines are at the northeastern position with the orcs down at the southwest. Now I just want to take the time to do a bit of a shout out to some of the German fans that have been German gaming fans that have been watching my commentaries, as well as just tuning into the RTS Cups gaming show, basically, and really didn't realize that there was so much support and enthusiasm over in Germany and in especially Europe for Dawn of War, but now I know. And of course, myself being a commentator mainly focusing on StarCraft and Warcraft in the past, only just having got into Dawn of War recently, really enjoying sort of getting feedback from Europeans. So great to hear your comments. Now, very interested in this particular game because it's, as I said, it's Striker versus Lunatico, and this is actually Game 3 in the team battle between the Russians and the Spanish. And we've actually had Hell Knight versus Calgar already, with Calgar taking that match out, and Backsnap Bob up against Protolobo. Backsnap Bob actually took that one out. So both teams have taken a match each, and now we're on to Game 3, and whoever can basically take up this best of three series is going to get their team up 2-1. So this, I believe, is the best of 3 matchup between Striker and Lunatico. So let's start talking about the game. Finally, we've got some action underway, some serious action, because Striker's actually heading a tactical squad of Marines down to the southwestern position where Lunatico is trying to take a relic here, and looks like those scouts were just about to decapture it, but they might think twice about doing that because the orcs are about to pummel them. We've got actually 3 squads of orcs here from Lunatico, led by a Big Map. Actually, no, I've got that wrong. 2 squads of orc plus the Big Mac, essentially to make 3 separate units, if you want to think of it that way. But Striker's actually sent in his Force Commander now, so the Force Commander is heading south down the eastern passage there, and hopefully taking the relic from the orc. In the meantime, the northwestern relic is being contested here between the Slugger Boy squad and the Scout squad. So both players really just trying to gain control of the relics here, and the orcs are doing quite well at the southeast because they've captured that relic with a listening post, and they're about to put a war banner there. Striker trying to disrupt Lunatico's plans, as it were. But he's going to have a tough time of it with just the tactical squad and the Force Commander up against the Big Mac and 2 squads there. Because Lunatico's got a shooter squad as well, he should be able to outgun these tactical Marines and come away with that relic intact and move on to the mid-game with that secure. But we'll see how it goes in the meantime. We've got a pretty violent battle. You can see the orcs in the foreground just killing that Space Marine. So the Marines there biting the dust, but we've still got a serious fight going on here. The Force Commander's right in the thick of it, just waving his power sword around. You can see him rolling along here and getting as much damage done as he can. But I don't think either side is really gaining much ground in this situation. It seems to be back and forward so far. Heading over the center of the map, we've got the 2 squads of tactical... Sorry, I made a mistake there. 2 squads of scout squads actually heading down through the middle river there and preventing the orcs from taking the critical objective. Again, looking back at this fight happening over here in the east, the tactical Marines are getting some kills here, and we've actually got a second tactical squad joined on, so looks like the Space Marines are finally getting some ground here and gaining an advantage, because with these 2 squads, at least one squad could be firing, and with the good amount of damage that the tactical Marines are doing, this is actually going to be quite successful. So the orcs have been pushed back to the relative safety of their listening post and their banner. Lunatico has actually upgraded his relic, as well as finally completing that war banner, so he's got some static defenses here, but the Space Marines are actually inflicting a lot of damage. 2 full squads of tactical Marines with the Force Commander tanking in the middle. Looks like the Scout Marines have actually managed to secure some position in the center. They haven't captured that critical objective, but they've at least prevented the orcs from doing so. And in the meantime, both sides really building things up. I feel like Striker has really got the advantage in unit numbers at this point. He's got a lot more tactical marines. The Orcs are looking at fairly low in numbers, but maybe Lunatico will be able to tech up as a bit of an offset to his low troop count. Although, having said that, that's not usually the way of it with the Orcs. With Orcs, you really want to gain a lot of members in your squads to actually boost the Y resource and to actually get the Orc population up. But looks like the big map has actually teleported to the middle of the map and has sniped a few of those scout squad men. But speaking of sniping, we've got a Scout Marine squad who actually upgraded with sniper rifles at this point, so he's got 2 of them here with this squad heading down through the middle. And this could be deadly if he actually gets these Scout Marines in position behind his tactical marines to actually assist the combat. So if he can actually throw in his tactical marines and force commander in the front line and put his scouts at the back row, he could get a lot of kills with those sniper rifles and drop the morale damage of the shooter boys as well as the sluggers, and that will actually be a real key to early game victory, or at least early game advantage here for the Space Marines. But taking a look at the relic over at the northwestern position, here we go, the snipers. Oh, this is a beautiful shot there. Beautiful, beautiful, very accurate stuff. And those Scout Marines have actually prevented the Orcs from hanging around their relic. So hopefully the Space Marines, under control of Striker, of course, Russian Space Marine player, will be taking that relic. Actually, while I'm on that topic, Striker has actually been playing Chaos also. So I think for this best of 3, he's picking Space Marines and Chaos, depending on the map and depending on how he's feeling. Lunatico, of course, is just playing Orc straight through, so not really going with the different race choices. But I mean, that's personal preference, I think. Now, looks like we've got a couple of squads of Orcs here, headed around finally to the west side of the map, heading through to the relic, and they're having to face down these tactical, sorry, not the tactical Space Marines, but the scout squads with sniper rifles. However, the Storm Boys have shown up, so they will be able to actually inflict some damage here, charging the scout squads, preventing them from using their sniper rifles, and looks like the tactical marines have returned, so it looks like we're finally going to have a decent sized battle here, guys. A serious engagement about to happen over nearby the banks of the river, just next to the Space Marine base here, and you can see a lot of troops getting into position for shooting. We've got the we've got the shooter boys in the far background on the other side of the river, firing up against that listening post upgraded there for the Space Marines. Meanwhile, the Storm Boys are over in the Space Marine side of the map, on the side of the river here. We've got 2 very strong-looking Space Marine tactical squads firing away. We haven't got any special weapons or heavy weapons upgraded for them yet, but still, those tactical Marines are going to do a lot of damage, especially with the scout squads in the background with sniper rifles if they're not in close combat, which they aren't because the Storm Boys have retreated now. So the Space Marines have held their own on their side of the river. The Orcs are in retreat, and we're going to have a look at whether the Space